Good morning. I love sports, loved competing in sports growing up and through college, played basketball in college. And man, for a long time, that's what I wanted to do with my life, was to play basketball. But when you're 5'8", your chances are pretty slim. Oh well. But I loved it. And I learned a lot. I coached basketball for 4 years in Texas and played in leagues after I moved to Utah and just loved competing. When I read the second metaphor for a disciple, it really is appealing to me. Verse 5 of 2 Timothy 2:5, an athlete is not crowned unless he competes according to the rules. There are certain rules for every sport. Every game has rules. You got to compete according to them. You can get disqualified if you don't. I can remember I received a couple technical fouls back in the day. One time when I was a junior varsity, a little punk, and I asked the ref if he needed a pair of glasses, and I held up my fingers and said, "Can you see this? Can you see this?" And I was a young punk at the time, and I got a technical foul because you're not supposed to talk that way to the ref. You're not supposed to talk that way to the official. You're outside of the rules. God has rules. God has rules not because he's trying to hedge us in, but because he's trying to help us focus on the game, if we can say that, the end goal. See, if you foul out in a basketball game, you can end up costing your team. If you break rules and get a penalty in a football game, you can cost your team. If you do something illegal and get thrown out of a baseball game, you could cost your team. If you get in a fight in a hockey game, you can end up going into the penalty box. There's all kinds of things that can happen to you. Even in individual sports, you can break rules and get a penalty for strokes in golf or points in tennis. So you need to understand the rules because they help keep you focused and they help keep you away from danger and away from sacrificing something even bigger than yourself. Maybe the goal, maybe something to do with your teammates and what they're trying to accomplish. In the Christian life, God gives us His Word. His Word acts as a rule book. It acts as a thing for us to follow. It's His commandments, His desires for our life. It's the way that our life will be best. And so instead of grudgingly playing according to the rules, instead of grudgingly doing what He desires us to do, what I need to do is be like an athlete who understands the rules, who plays within them, who even uses them to his advantage to accentuate the process of what it means to pursue Him with all of my vigor, an athlete who competes according to the rules. That's the second metaphor. So look, be an athlete who's trained, but be one in this particular metaphor who competes according to the rules, who understands that the guidelines of God are there for our good, and treasure them. Oh, treasure them today, and have a wonderful and God-blessed day.